everybody. Skywalking with Wetz podcast. Today we have another special guest, Jaden Stanley-Williams. He's been on here before, but it was so good we had to bring him on again. So first off, I want to thank you, Jaden, for being on here, coming and tuning in all the way from the Gold Coast, all the way across the world, man. First off, it's a journey, right? Like you come, from Montana, make the leap to Atlanta, go play your college ball, then you go to Portugal, and it's just like that whole process. But through this past year, how's it been with you?
It's been amazing, man. This year has been like one of them years where it's like the work hasn't fully paid off, but like you have your moments where you're like, yeah, I can start to see breaks in it. I can start to see everything that I did start to pay off a little bit, because the way I was living out here, they had me put up in a really nice spot, like a beachside apartment. And I'm talking like top level beachside apartment. I have a pool. I have 2 pools in my apartment, a weight room, a sauna. And it's like, I don't have to pay any rent on that. They gave me a car. And it's only my second year overseas. So it was like, dang, like I'm not making a crazy amount of money yet, but just to be able to live that kind of lifestyle, basically tax free, was like, it's like, whoa, I can just save all this money right here. And, it's amazing. It's amazing to see what can be after this year. You know what I mean?
Yep. I saw you post on Instagram. You're saying bye to your old crib. And I was like, damn, you got the ocean right there. You got the whole thing. Got the whole thing.
Yeah. It was awesome, man. Cause we're getting out of here. I leave on Monday to go back to America. So they just got us put up in an Airbnb now as like a transitional house between us and like going back home. So yeah, I had to say bye to my apartment. It sucks, man. I love that place. That place is awesome.
Yeah, dude. It looks like they're treating you well out there, dude. And like, just like, honestly, it's a person's dream, but like a hooper's dream to really like be able to travel the world and play basketball. And in your situation, in some ways, it might be kind of a different brand of basketball in some ways. I know like for example, we had, I was with my club team. We're out in Vegas and we were playing this team from Australia that they're doing like a whole little tour in the United States of playing in all these different tournaments. Mm-hmm. But they were so much more structured and like fundamental in a lot of different ways than some of our kids are. But it's a dream. I bet you it really is a dream. It's probably cool to reflect and be like, damn, like I got to experience this for a period of time in my life.
Yeah, it's dope. That's dope, man. It's just crazy. I mean, and it's crazy being over here, just being in Australia aside the basketball part, just being able to live in a different, literally the other side of the world. So it's like, it's awesome. You miss your family a little bit, but at the same time, like you're doing things that a lot of people can't do or just don't know how to do, like don't want to do. So it's awesome, man. Like seeing kangaroos and being able to go in the Indian Ocean and travel around Australia and see different types of cultures and different types of people. It's dope, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, the last time I talked to you, you were in Portugal doing your thing there. And so what did that process look like leading up to the NBL? Like NBL is arguably the second best basketball organization in the world behind the NBA. I mean, China might be around there and maybe some of the Euro leagues, but like the NBL, they have a lot of high stakeholders in there. I know like Scottie Pippen and some of those cats are like involved with it. And so like it's no joke being over there. So like from Portugal to now, like what was that process like going home? What did you do to like keep your body like in shape, or like what'd you really focus on, and how did the NBL really kind of come up in discussions?
Yeah. So I kind of had an idea that I was going to come out and play here when I was in Portugal. The Portuguese season lasted a little too long for me to come out here, and by the time that season ended, they were already in full swing out here. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to come out here after Portugal last year. So I was going to plan for next year, which is this year. And that whole year was just dedicated to different types of things. I really wanted to work on longevity for my body. I post a lot of Instagram reels and TikToks and stuff for just people who are starting their fitness journey or people who are like also, you know, playing basketball, but they don't necessarily have a direction. They don't have a way to go.
Yep.
So I like to post videos of like just light workouts I do or things that I did in the off season to keep my body in shape. So a lot of this off season work was dedicated to more so maintaining my body, but finding a balance in maintaining my body and also increasing explosion, you know, off my first step or, you know, off my first jump or even my second jump. So it was a lot of sprints, man. Like sprinting, I cannot tell you how amazing sprinting was for me. Like it sucked, but my brother had me running hills, like sprinting up a hill in under like 20 seconds every day. And that sucked so bad, but it helped because it got me in really good shape. I feel it in my body and my legs at this point in the season. It's the end of the season, but I feel good. My body doesn't hurt. Yeah, like if I wanted to, I could go back to Europe and just play right now because my body feels so good. But I want to come back out here, so I'm probably going to forego the European season.
Yep. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we have a question in the chat. Is that the league LaMelo played in? I think that is the league LaMelo played in for. No, did LaMelo? Yeah, and LaMelo played in the.
He played top. He played
yeah.
top league. So I'm like right here.
Yeah. But like that's exactly it. Hef is like LaMelo was out there playing. I think after he played in like Albania or something like that. Like some of those dudes during that period of time, like they would forego college and go play professionally elsewhere, so they didn't have to go to. But yeah, but yeah, I realized that I saw you were posting a lot of like fitness things and basketball things on Instagram, and I assume I'm not on TikTok, but I assume you probably did on TikTok too. Let's dig into that a little bit. I feel like that's like first off an awesome thing to do, and also I think it's another area where you can like grow your name and people follow and do the workouts you're doing. What kind of led you to do that?
Well, I didn't want to do it initially because I'm not like I never wanted to be a content creator. That's not my type of vibe. But I was talking to one of my homeboys one day, just shooting it, and he was like, "Dude, you're a professional basketball player." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, do you know how many professional basketball players I know?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "One." And he's like, it's normal to me because we've been homeboys for so long, but you're the only professional basketball player I know. He's like, "Do you know how many people would just love to see what you do every single day? Like, you don't even have to record anything special. Just show what you're doing when you're overseas or something like that." And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because I'm the basketball player, so I don't see it from that perspective. I don't see it from the outside perspective. So for him to say, like, "Dude, like, you are a professional basketball player. Why don't you just record yourself doing stuff? Like, people will watch." And I tried it out, and a lot of people supported it. So that's when I decided to go ahead and full swing it, and then kind of find like a niche that I'm really educated in, which is the body and basketball workouts. So things I do every day. And so I just decided to start trying to reach out and have a voice to everybody that is watching. Like, if you're beginning your fitness journey, I can help you. Or if you're a beginner basketball player, here are some things you can do that'll help your coordination later on when you become 14, 15. Or if you're a professional basketball player, how do you want to stay explosive throughout the season and keep your body strong without breaking down, without doing too much heavy lifting? Like, let's get into that, because those are things that I'm really educated in, and these are things that I'm really passionate about, is just helping the next generation or helping somebody that's watching the videos. That's what made me want to start getting into, even developing my own body. It's like helping other people has helped me so much. It's helped me so much because I've seen leaps and bounds in my athleticism just from posting these videos. Like, sometimes I'm like, will I even do this workout? And I'll try it out just for the sake of the video. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is something I can keep doing for sure. So yeah, man, just seeing the impact that it can have on, maybe even two people. It doesn't have to be thousands of people, but like maybe there's two people watching the video that are just like, "Man, yeah, like that's amazing. Let me see if I can do that." So yeah, just kind of trying to grow my name a little bit and reach out to a bigger audience.
Yeah, and you got your degree in that kind of stuff, right?
No, my degree is actually in business administration.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, emphasis in management. But like, if we're being honest, bro, I know more. I know more about how the body works and certain things for the body than I do how to work a computer, dog. Like,
No, for real.
took me forever. It took me forever to pull up Discord. Like, that's why I was late.
No, yeah, no worries. It's complicated, but at the same time, being like a student athlete and an athlete in general, like there's so much that like your athletic trainers have put into you, your strength and conditioning coaches put into you, and if you're like smart about it, like dude, I still do some of the workouts I did in college, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
good stuff, and like not even just like building muscle or strength and conditioning. It's also like how I take care of my body, certain stretches, like knowing like if my ankle or my knees hurting a little bit, you know, like what I could do there. Like it goes a long way because we do learn along that journey, you know. And I mean, you've
Yeah.
gotten more of it than me. Like you've been in professional areas and been able to like learn from like elite type of people, I would assume. And just like being able to like, and it goes with what Zach kind of said in the chat. He said like teaching like through content is probably one of the best things you can do, and like just keep doing it because like you said, like it could be one or two kids or one or two adults or whoever it is, but like it's valuable for one, and for two, like you never know where that can go for yourself. Like if you're helping one or two people, hey, they go tell someone, hey, go check this out. Because one thing is, like I'm in the coaching area and I hear how much some of these trainers be like costing for my kids to go get skills workouts or to go do strength and conditioning. It's a lot. But to hear it from like a professional hooper and a very decorated college hooper and high school hooper who's been through all of it, like, and it's essentially free on TikTok. Like, it's dope. I think that shit's.
Yeah, thanks, man. And as you know, as a quick side note, I'm glad that you said that, man. That's been my biggest frustration as of lately. Like, you got trainers that are charging $220 an hour just for basic skill sessions, and it's like kids can't afford that, man. Like I was back home. And I was talking to this dude. We had just got done hooping LA Fitness. He said, I do training. Like, I can get you ready for your next season. I'm like, all right, cool. I texted, bro, and he said it'll be $60 for 30 minutes of a session. If you want a full session, it'll be $125. And I'm like, bro, like, come on, man. Like,
he typically when they say, oh, well, if you add the hour instead of 120, I'll give it to you 110. But he added $5 on top.
He added money, and I'm like, come on, bro. Like, really? Like, and you expect, and this is like your normal price? He said, yeah, this is the discounted price. I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'm not doing that. Right. But, that's just the state of basketball now. The state of basketball is social media has, pumped up the prices of everything. All these trainers, like people who have never played basketball before, you got training kids for $200 an hour. And it's like, dude, not even having them do anything crazy, just having them do things they would never do in a game, things that don't translate well. That's my biggest problem with like modern day basketball. It's like these kids aren't working on the things they need to work. I feel like an old head. I feel like an old head saying this, like, I feel like an old head, like use the glass, but man, you don't use that glass, bro. Like use the glass, playoff too. You got these trainers teaching kids how to do 360 layups. And it's like, bro, come on.
Dude. Yeah. I mean, I've watched some content. I've seen things like that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's not a bad thing to necessarily work on, but how often is that kid going to use that in a game? Like a tween, cross, spin, step back. Like, okay, it's cool that he could do that. And he might be able to do that 1 or 2 times in a game. But how about finishing when you have a defender on your hip and how to use the glass, right? Or how to play off 2 feet and utilize the pivot foot. Like one of the coolest things I watch is like Hakeem Olajuwon showing like NBA players his footwork. And then it just like sparks something in my head. It was like, we need to be teaching our kids that shit. Like how to play off 2 feet and be creative out of it. Like the between, double step back, James Harden thing. Like, yeah, Like that stuff's cool, but like when you get to like the college level or even like competitive high school, like even freshman basketball in high school, like you ain't gonna do that. Like, and if you are doing that
at
and you're
all.
like really efficient with it, like okay, like you're gonna go some places. But like when kids come into the gym and like all they're doing is sidestep threes or and all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah. That's one thing I can say about these Australians, these Aussies, man. They drill the fundamentals into their players. Like you're not gonna find too many bag work players, but their fundamentals are so good that they just can score at ease, score at will, and they're just like it's so hard to guard sometimes. Like it's so hard to guard somebody that's fundamentally sound. Like it's hard. You got a guy who plays off two, can throw up like three pump fakes, and then can spin off one foot and go lay it with the other hand. Like stuff like that is just hard to guard. It's hard to teach, but it's hard to guard. And that's one thing I picked up here is just trying to be more fundamentally sound and actually playing off too. It's helped my game a lot just seeing how these guys out here play. It's awesome, man.
Yeah, like to that point, like when those Australian teams came and played my kids, like you talk about fundamentals, talk about the IQ of like, okay, we'd take something away, they knew the counter. Okay, we're going over here, we're gonna try and get a post up or whatever it may be. And
Mhm.
our kids, and I'm gonna ask you this question. There's a question in the chat here, but like it's just so hard sometimes because over there, and I know there's like academies and things. I don't know Australia specifically, but in other countries, like they have stuff like that. But like
Mhm.
that's the stuff they're learning. Whereas like sometimes our kids are just going to 24 hour and playing ones and then
Yeah.
getting their skill session. And to this question is, do you think wealthier parents have an upper hand when it comes to overall performance? Or do you think work ethic can overshadow that with a kid who might not have that benefit of having, parents with deep pockets?
That's a really good question. That is an amazing question. That
It
is a
is.
really good
It
question.
is.
And I think it's a really good question because it is a very loaded question. You can go either way, either side of the coin. I do think nowadays wealthier parents do have the ability to give their kid a foot up in this basketball league, in basketball, especially because you see kids that, all right, I don't want to throw children under the bus, but kids that aren't that good, kids that aren't that good that are playing in EYBL that are top ranked 25. You got kids that are playing in all these high league competitions all throughout high school because their parents can afford to send them to those things, or maybe their parents can afford to send them to Drew Hanlon, an NBA trainer, from the age of 6. So yes, a kid who has money, access to this money, and has been training with NBA trainers since he was 6 is going to be leagues ahead of everybody else by the time they get to high school. Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah, he is cold. He is cold at basketball because he's had access to these things since he was like 4 years old. So yeah, but at the same time, the wolf on top of the hill is not as hungry as the wolf climbing the hill. If you have a kid who doesn't have anything, but his work ethic is just balls to the wall every single day. I'm gonna take everything you have. I'm taking that player 100 times out of 100. I'm taking that player every single time because there's a certain, like Mike Tyson said. He said, my son will never be a boxer. He's never had to fight for anything. He don't know what it's like to fight. I love Mike Tyson. He's one of my, like, as far as like athletics, role models because like you said, he wants to eat you hot, like type. I really
Killer,
love
dude.
Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson for that reason. But he said my son will never be a fighter because he's never had to struggle. I give him everything. So there are kids out there, and I've played them who have nothing but basketball. They've never had a trainer. They've never had proper shoes. They've always had a ball, and they've always been able to go down the street and go to the rec and go to a park and play. And those kids are like, they have nothing to lose. They just want to play basketball and they want to play hard. So it's definitely it's finding a median in between the both. That's such a good question. I love answering questions like that because it's like you do got players who came up from the mud and started with nothing, but this new era of basketball sees a lot of basketball players that have kind of had it their whole life And not saying that's a bad thing because it's
Right.
not, but like they've kind of had the ability to pay for these things. You know, they've had the
Yep.
ability to go, you know, fly to New York to train with a trainer for a week and then go back home. You know, if I imagine if I had something like that growing up, you know, who knows where I'd be as far as basketball. It's different because I was one of those kids that I just went to the park and played. I
Yep.
never had a trainer. I just went to the park. So it's like, you know, it's definitely two sides of that coin, but that's a great question, honestly.
No, it's
Like
great.
we can get into it for hours.
No, I think it is great because, like you said, like if your parents have like that deeper pocket and they can afford that kind of stuff, like skill
Mhm.
wise and everything, like you're gonna have access to learn about a lot of different things that'll benefit you. Um, you have these kids like, oh, I'm gonna like you said, like Elijah Arenas, like, all right, I'm gonna go send you out to work out with Chris Brickley, or shit, I'll just work you out myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And they're just being around those kinds of people, like it definitely goes a long way. But like you said, like I love the analogy with like the wolf climbing the mountain compared to the wolf on top of the mountain. Like when you're hungry and you want something more than the other person, like you said, Mike Tyson, like that killer mentality of like, I don't know any better. Like I go home and I'm eating ramen for dinner. You're at home eating steak and lobster, you know? And like those kinds
yeah,
of kids are the kids that are dangerous. And if the moment they get that kind of access, I think it's game over because you have a kid who doesn't have it, then you have a kid that does, right? The kid that does, there might be times where he's picking and choosing, like, maybe I'm not gonna go to that
mhm,
workout today. I'm gonna go kick it, play Xbox with the boys, or I'm gonna go skiing or whatever. And that's no problem with that. But then you also got that other kid who's at the park, just like you, just like me, every single
mhm,
day. Like I had the
yeah,
benefit of having my grandpa who taught me a lot of things, but I was always at the park doing stuff like that. Like you were always at the park. I drive around the neighborhoods, and see kids at the park. I'm like that kid wants it because it does take a lot, and like especially today, dude. Like we're a different generation than like these kids today. We were completely different. Like
yeah,
we would go outside with that warp basketball and go and hoop because we loved it that much. We're like kids,
mhm,
like not a lot of kids are wanting to do that. So when I see that today, I'm like, I love it. I love it because shooting on that
yeah,
double rim with your water bottle half empty, you're hungry, but your jump shot's not really hitting or feeling good right now. Like you're gonna stay there until you figure it out. You're gonna be starving. You're gonna be
yeah,
sweating. You're gonna be hot. There's no shade. The double rims suck to shoot on. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
like that kind of like work ethic and hunger to be better, I think that goes farther than a kid who has all of the access initially because there's going to be a point
yeah,
where that kid's going to catch up. He's going to get into high school, he's going to get into college, right? Then he
mhm,
has the access to get better, right? Like think of you and I think about, my boy Zacchaeus. Like Zacchaeus
mhm,
wasn't a top recruited kid coming out of Montana, right? He was in a situation like us,
yeah,
get his shots in at the park, go to the YMCA and hoop, right? But once he got to
mhm,
college and he got that access and he's around other people where he can learn from, I think that gap closes so quick. It
yeah.
closes
It
so
closes.
quick.
It's so fast. You know, once you get to college, like you said, once somebody gets those opportunities, you know, has access to facilities, trainers, and adequate nutrition, that gap does close so quick. Because it's like I've never had this before, so you think I want to give this up? No, absolutely, hell no, absolutely not. But then you do have them kids who have had that their whole life, and they're like, yeah, like I'll probably just play video games up until practice. I'm not gonna stretch. I'm not gonna do nothing. Like, okay, all right, bro, you do that. You do that.
Yep.
I'm gonna be in the gym when practice starts. I'm gonna be waiting for you.
Yep.
I'm gonna be waiting for you. So you go ahead, do what you need to do because I'm right here.
Yep. Yeah,
So
man.
yeah, man, Zacchaeus, dude, he's a monster, man. Every time I can catch one of his games overseas, I tap in because like, you know, just watching his growth is from Providence to where he's at now is, you know, leaps and bounds. You know, he's awesome. That dude's cold. So
Dude,
yeah,
it's incredible. Like and I feel like the same way with you. Like watching him, like So I remember going into our freshman year of college, him and I were like the same height. And then after his
Mm,
freshman year of college, he was like 4 inches taller than me and better at basketball with me. And he might argue with me on this, right? But the gap was closer going into the freshman year. And after freshman year, I was like, oh, wow.
mm,
Like, he grew into his
yeah.
body and all that stuff. But, like, looking at you, I'd still bust his ass. And I hope he sees this. Can't guard me. He still can't guard me. He's just more gifted, right? But, anyways,
More
same
good.
thing with you, bro. And I don't mean any disrespect when I say this, but you were like the pudgy Jaden coming in, doing your thing. Like, you still worked hard and you were still good at basketball. But like then you went to Atlanta, and then I start hearing, oh, you were posting, oh, got D1 offers, got D2 offers, and I'm like, what? What? No shit. Then I saw you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that is not the same kid that I knew growing up watching on the freshman team at Great Falls High. That is a completely different
Yeah.
beast. What was I don't think we talked
Yeah.
about that the last time. Like, what was the difference? Was it truly, do you feel like you would have been the same player if you stayed in Montana? Or do you think like Atlanta completely changed the game for you?
It did. It did, bro. And like, it's funny that you say that because my dad just came in the other day.
Keep talking. I'm going to check my camera.
And
Keep
my
talking.
girl. All right, yeah, cool. My girlfriend and I were sitting at dinner with him last night, and you know how parents get sometimes. He was just trying to tell all the embarrassing stories about me and how I used to be that pudgy kid. When I moved to Atlanta, it's like when I moved to Atlanta, my dad was like, "Yeah, nah, son, like you are pudgy. If you want to get to where you need to be, you can't look like this. Like you got to be an athlete." And so as soon as I got there, all right. So I will say this, Coach Sean, my sophomore year, Coach Sean definitely helped slim me out a little bit.
I love
Man,
Coach
he made me
Sean.
run so much. Yeah, I love Coach Sean too. Like every time I come home, I'm like, hey man, can I get in the gym? Like, what's up? Like, Coach Sean is a good dude. But yeah, man, because he tore into me one day because I never played organized basketball for real. Like, I was always just at the park or I was at the High Z, the rec center, just playing basketball. And he tore into me one day, like at the end of the season, because we were losing. He's like, man, you're supposed to be a beast. Like, you're 6'4", you're out there farting around. Like, I'm like, okay. I don't know why that just got to me so bad, but it did. And it got to me so bad. And as soon as the season ended, I got in the gym and I told my dad, I was like, hey, like, I'm ready to take this basketball stuff serious. And he's like, well, come live with me. He's like, basketball is really big here in Georgia. As soon as I moved to Atlanta, culture shock. Everything changes. Everything's different. You got kids that are 12 years old dunking on grown men. You got kids that are 13 years old with full beards that can East Bay on a fast break. And so for me coming from Montana, we would have practices just to see two people do a rim grazing dunk at the end of practice. Like, so it's like me seeing this, I'm like, whoa, like this is because when you're in a small pond, when you're in a small place, like basketball is not the greatest in Montana. And it's like when you're in a place like that and you start to become better, you're like, oh yeah, I could be the top dog of this place. But then when you go to somewhere like Atlanta where you just got monsters, you got those kids who are eating ramen and going to play basketball, like it's sink or swim at that point. Man, that summer when I left Great Falls, I was working out like 4 times a day. I was working out like 4 times a day, and my dad was just feeding me, like loading me with protein, carbs, and I just slimmed down so much, man. And then my junior year, I didn't have the best year because like I needed to develop skill wise, but my body was there. Like my body was there, and then that senior year, I just started doing that junior to senior year season of AAU was like when I really was like, wow, like just here's what 7 to 8 months of work did. Like, and I'm getting Division 1 offers. It was, man, it was crazy. Like I grew into my body. I kind of grew into my frame a little bit. And it was just wild, man. It happened so fast. It happened so fast. And like when I came back to Great Falls, everybody was like, Jaden? I'm like, yeah, me, man. Like, I'm not that no more.
Yep. Dude, yeah, and I think that's huge because it's hard. It's hard for kids to kind of figure that out. You know what I mean? To like how to keep your body dialed in. I mean, shoot, I'm an adult and
Mhm.
I still think it's hard. Like because it's one of those things where you really have to be dedicated with it and you got to fight some demons. You know, like, oh, I want to
Mhm.
go snack or I want this beer or I want X, Y, and Z right now, but you got to fight demons. So like for example, um like in college for me, like I could eat whatever and then I'd go burn 2,000, 3,000 calories at practice, whatever we were doing. Right. But once I stopped,
Mhm.
I was like, oh shit, I can't do this anymore. And like to wake up, you know, in the morning, be like, no, I'm fasting until 1 p.m. Got to fight some deep.
Mhm.
But like as a kid
Yeah.
too, it's just like, it's hard. Like you need someone like your dad, right? To where it's like, keep you kind of dialed in and focused on it and like to help you along that process. Unfortunately, I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
families and parents like have that, you know, that that foresight or whatever the word for it is to kind of dial it in for their kid. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we're having
Yeah.
McDonald's tonight, but you also have a big basketball game tomorrow. Like game day meals, I feel like the day before, those meals are just as important as game day meals.
I would say they're more important. I would say they're a little more important what you eat beforehand, the day before, because that's gonna come up. That's gonna come up the next day. That's what your body's going off of. So, yeah, like I'm more of like a Subway dude on game day, and I only eat a Subway sandwich on game day, just one. Like before the game, I only eat one thing, and then I'll have like an apple or a banana. But the day before is loaded with carbs, light proteins, like not never no steak, but maybe like chicken or something like that. Because the day before, like it's the preparation leading up to battle. Like it's hard. Like you said, you got to fight some demons because there's sometimes I could go to town on some Oreos, dog. Like
Right.
I
Yep.
love I love snacking. I love snacks. I love fry bread. That was the big thing too. I love fry bread, dog. And it's like, can't do it. Can't do it, man.
Some fry bread with some honey butter and cinnamon, or even just fry bread with
And some
some
powdered
Indian.
sugar.
Yeah, dude.
Crazy, man.
Yes, dude. Yes, man. And I love like obviously like if you've been around fry bread, you love it. But at the same time, it'll put some it'll put some weight on you. That's for sure.
It'll do it to you.
It'll
It'll
do
do
it
it
to
to
you,
you.
dude.
So yeah. There's definitely. I would say the hardest part about just the athletic journey in any aspect is the food, the nutrition. That's the hard part. Like,
Yep.
it's easy to do what you love. It's easy for me to go get up shots, but then when I go home, like I want some M&Ms or some Skittles, something like
Yep.
that. Can't do it.
Yep. Also good to like I found like this I went to Costco and there were like these fruit rolls. The only ingredients are the fruit that are in it, just like compressed fruit kind of mixed in with each other.
Mm,
And I feel like that's been the greatest snack I could have. Instead of, getting some fruit roll-ups or, whatever else it is like you could also find alternatives to like get that little, you know, that munchy feeling away that are also healthy and they don't
yeah,
throw the calories or the carbs on you. But like
yeah, for sure.
bring it together like looking back at it, what's the satisfaction like watching like your sophomore year of high school to your senior year through college to now, like looking back at all of that and how you've
Mm,
transformed along the way. um how satisfying is it satisfying, like what kind of comes up for you?
yeah, it is satisfying. It's gratifying. Um,
Yep.
just seeing how far you can come. Um, I still sometimes, even now, I don't really know what to think of it because it feels like it all happened so fast. It feels like it, but in a way, it didn't. I know it didn't happen fast, but for me, it's kind of hard to think about. Like I'm very proud of myself and I'm very satisfied with where I'm at. But with the ever ongoing pursuit of greatness, it's like I'm not where I want to be yet. I know I can do so much more. So, and that's why my girlfriend, she's been an amazing help to me as of lately. She just makes sure that you need to be proud of yourself here, like now and then.
Hmm.
Like you came from Montana, you weren't that good. You did all these things. Look where you're at now. She's like, just sit down and be thankful for it sometimes. I'm like, she's like, you're too hard on yourself, and she's been the biggest help in that aspect of life. So it's nice to just sit back and see what you've done and see how far you've come, man. It's
Yep.
awesome. Like I didn't think I always knew I'd be a professional basketball player. I just didn't think I'd be presented with the opportunities that I've been presented. So to live in it now, I know sophomore high school me would look at me and be like, yeah, that's dope, man. Good job. Like, so yeah,
You'd be
pretty
his
cool,
idol,
bro.
bro. You would be his idol. That's a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah.
And like, to go from Montana to Atlanta, we were just talking about it a little bit. Like, it's a huge culture shock, bro, because there's so many more people for one. Just like a different culture of basketball is presented out there. Like we played an
Mhm.
Atlanta team. I think they're Atlanta, or they were the Peach State or something like that, elite.
Yeah.
And my Colorado boys, when they walked on the court, they had a kid. I'm talking seventh graders going into eighth grade. They had a kid that was like 6'4", 240, bro. And my little my little Colorado boys were like, oh my god, like you could tell in their head they're like, oh, we're losing this game. And I'm like, you know me, I'm like, I don't care how big they are, whatever. Like you
Yeah.
still go out there and fight. But it's just like, to go to the point, what we were talking about is like, it's a different ball game. And the craziest thing was one white boy on the team was killing us. He was killing us, man. Could shoot and do it all, but the whole team could. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's a different ball game. So to come from Montana to go through all of that, go to Atlanta, kind of had to get out of the trenches, essentially. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
had
It sucked.
to, like you said, sink or swim. It bunch of dogs out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, bro. A lot of growing pains there, man. I cannot tell you how many highlights I ended up on just being out there. Jeez. Like I've been on a couple. I've been dumped on a few times, got broken a few times. Like, cause like I like coming from Montana, I thought I was the big fish. I thought I was good. You come across somebody who's really good, like, talking like a dude who's in the NBA now. Now then it's like, oh, well, all right, yeah, it's a different ball game for sure. So it's a lot of growing pains, man. But thankful for them because they made me work even harder. Being exposed to that, like, you guys want to hoop? Let's hoop. I want to hoop too. I want to be a part of the game. So let's go.
So, and you kind of talked about this earlier. Who are your biggest motivations? Like, a lot of people say Kobe. I know you mentioned Mike Tyson. Like, what is it about Mike Tyson that you love so much? Because I love him too as like a competitor and an athlete. It was out of
Yeah.
the ring stuff. It is what it is. It makes him one of the most fascinating people on this planet. But at the same time,
Yeah.
that dude was just a
He
fucking
was a
animal.
monster.
He was an animal. So why like a
Yeah.
guy like Mike Tyson? And was there anybody else?
Yeah, there's a couple, man. I like Mike Tyson because of his ferociousness. He's such a monster. Like that, when I came in the ring, I wanted to eat it hot. Praise be to Allah. Like that whole I want to eat your heart, I
Crazy.
want to eat your like kids, I want to eat your family. Like that mentality I've carried on the basketball court almost every game. Almost every game. Like it's like just I want it more than you. You could be better than me, but I want it more than you. And so I drew a lot of that from Mike Tyson. Like when it comes down to it, like if it's between you or me, then it's gonna be me. Like it has to be me. Like I can't give you the opportunity. I can't give you the chance. And then I got a lot of inspiration from Mike Tyson. And honestly, bro, like me, I'm a big Dragon Ball Z fan. So like I pull a lot of inspiration from anime, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I pull a lot of inspiration from anime. Like I'll watch an anime scene and it's like that's enough to get me going. All right, let's do it. Hey, if he can do it, I can do this. I'm just playing basketball. He's fighting planetary threats. Let's go ahead and go to the gym. Like, so I draw. I find inspiration in everything. I do have my role models: Mike Tyson, parents, Bruce Lee. I do have my role models like that. But honestly, bro, I draw inspiration from everything. Like anything. Like if I go for a walk in the park, like just breathing fresh air is enough inspiration for me to go do something. Because it's like, bro, I feel like we're not grateful or thankful enough for the things that we have. So it's easy for me to get inspired by just watching like a dad go play with his kid.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's easy for me to get inspired by just somebody saying, "Hey, good job." Like I get inspired by little things like that because it's like I don't know, I don't need much. I didn't have much, so now I have enough. I have enough to live and support me and my girlfriend. So it's like, no, man. I'm just always inspired. I always find like I'm
Yep.
inspired doing this podcast. I'm inspired doing this, talking to you, bro. Like
Yeah.
it inspires me to want to go get in the gym. Like let's go get better. Let's go do something.
Yep. I love that. I love it. Like, you know, the ferociousness of Mike Tyson for one, like, dude, just a top tier, just a savage. Like, I don't think you'll
Yeah.
ever see like often replicated, never duplicated kind of dude. You know, because that's stuff like you hear like
Yeah.
probably watch fighting and MMA and boxing, like
Yeah.
a lot of people who talk it, but like Mike Tyson lived it. And you
Yeah.
go to like anime, like watching Dragon Ball Z and Goku fighting Frieza, and you know when they're fighting Majin Buu or Cell, or like when Brawly comes in, like that stuff got me jacked
Mhm.
up too. You know, like anime is
Yeah.
very slept on for inspiration, and there's a lot of people who are inspired by that stuff. Even a lot of top tier athletes. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like the messages in it are so like embedded and like intentional. It's awesome. I never
Mm.
really went too far out of Dragon Ball Z. You know, I watched some other stuff periodically, you know, but like Dragon
Mm.
Ball Z is one of those ones, man, where it's like I want to be like Goku, dog. Like I want to be like Trunks and those kinds of dudes. Like because
Yeah.
they're always fighting some kind of adversity, a planetary threat, a galactic threat, or whatever it is. But they just like
Mhm.
they did such a good job through that whole
Yeah.
process of like Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, you know,
Yeah.
the whole thing. But even like this is something that like I caught on like later in my life was like being inspired by like other things like a rock band or you know somebody's art or
Yeah.
like you said like walking around and just like looking at the sunsets and looking at the mountains in Montana, like looking at
Mhm.
that kind of stuff,
Absolutely.
dude. And you know I'm out here in Colorado now and I'll look at those Rockies and I'm like for one I'm so blessed and privileged to like be a part of this and look at it and like be in its presence. and
Mhm.
and for two it's like I feel like nature itself is just so motivating if you're able to find it and look at it. Because I had a buddy, I won't name his name.
Absolutely.
I brought him to Glacier Park once, and Glacier, you know, Blackfeet, Amscapapacunny, you know, that's our homeland up
Mhm.
there. Well, it's all our homeland, but that's where the res is, and
Yeah.
Glacier Park's a big part of Blackfeet culture and Native American culture in general. You know, you got North American Indian days and stuff like that up there. But like, I would always go to those mountains as a kid, and it was just inspiring. But I had a friend once. He was like, "I just see a rock with trees." I'm like, it bugs me because it's like you got to find it, dude. And I think everybody has that
Yeah.
ability. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like everybody has that ability to like find it, but I think
Mhm.
you gotta find something in yourself first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Gold
Yeah.
Coast,
There's beauty in everything.
beauty in everything. The Gold Coast probably has
Mhm.
its own beauty in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like
Yeah,
winter
bro.
there right now, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
considered
It's cold.
winter.
It's cold here. It's cold. It's like man, I'm wearing a hoodie inside. Like I'm
Yeah.
at because I'm at our gym right now. I'm at our gym right now, and like there's no heat here, so it's like I have to wear a hoodie inside. But man, it's cold, but it is beautiful. I will say that it is very pretty here. They got very pretty beaches. It's very clean. They do a really good job of keeping their country clean, bro. Like you don't see litter. You don't see much like garbage on the ground. It's so clean. It's so clean. Everybody here walks around barefoot.
Yeah.
Like they walk around barefoot. They don't wear shoes like that. So I like it, man. It's dope. It's beautiful here. I will say I'm pretty I might be biased. not as pretty as America. We have some sights to see in America. Like there's nothing here that tops Glacier. Like Glacier is a beautiful place.
Yep.
There's nothing here that tops it, but it does have its own beauty for sure.
Yep. Yeah, dude. I go to that point. Like you go to some place, like I'm in Denver. You go downtown Denver, and it's not as bad as like let's say the Vegas Strip or something. But like we don't do a good job keeping our place clean. Like you drive on the interstate or the highway, and there's garbage everywhere. Damn. You know, like
Yeah.
It's gross. And to see other countries and things like I went to Canada once, and it was like, wow, they really be taking care of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's something we got to fix over here. I don't know. They always make it too complicated.
Absolutely.
It's too complicated to go pick up the trash. You got to jump through about 1,000 loopholes to get there.
Right.
But yeah, so you're in Australia, leaving soon. So like, how did you necessarily end up there? I know you said you had the opportunity last year, but you're like, I'm gonna let my body rest and you know go into it next year. Like, how'd that happen? Is that like an agent? They contact you? How does that all kind of unfold?
So I went to this showcase. It's funny how it came about. Because coming out of college, I didn't have no overseas offers. But I went to a men's league just down the street from my house in Georgia. Had like 44. Had 44 in the league, and this dude was like, "Do you play overseas?" And I'm like, "Nah, I just got out of college." He said, "Well, I'm gonna link you through to my boy." Link me through to his boy, and then he said, "I can get you a contract in Portugal, but I also want you to come to this showcase just in case, you can get something better." And so I signed the contract to Portugal, went to the showcase, pooped crazy, like just went crazy, went stupid. And then this team wanted me to come here last year, but I was already committed to Portugal. And so they just kind of waited. Like they seen that I hooped in Portugal, and then they're like, all right, come out here for 2025. So I did. And that's what brought me here. Like they've been known about me for like 2 years. So it was nice to know that they kept tabs on me and wanted me to come back out here. Yep. For sure.
How's it been over there? Like, what was the season like for you? I know we were texting, and I said you look like you're being a little disrespectful, and you're like, I'm always going to be disrespectful. Like, what was it like? What was it like playing over there? Because it seems like you did pretty well, like individually and doing your thing.
Yeah. It was I did pretty well. I don't think I did as best as I could this season. That's why I'm excited to come back. Next year, I'm not sure if it'll be this team or if it'll be another team in the same league, but we didn't do too well as a team this year. I think we only won like 6 or 7 games, which is terrible. But individually, for this being my second year overseas, man, I think I did really good. Like I did shooting at a deficient clip. I was trying to hit 50, 40, 90 this year. But, I'm at like 51% from 2, and now I'm at like 38% from 3, and at like 81% from free throw. So I was close. I was really close, but, kind of came short of that goal. But, I was able to grow into the league pretty well. I kind of shot sorely at the beginning of the season, just trying to adapt to the league and our playing system. But once I got into the flow of it, I found where my buckets could come from, and I found where I could score. And, I just started having really good games. I had a streak of like 4 or 5 games where I had points. And so, in this league, this is a tough league, man. Like we got ex-NBA guys in the league, ex-NBL guys in the league. We got current G League guys that'll come here right after like their season or right before, and come here and play. So it's been like playing against like some high level competition and doing the things that I've done has just allowed me to see like how good I can be. So yeah, man, it's been a good season. I had a lot of fun. It's dope to play here, dog. Real dope.
Oh yeah, and they have like different kind of set of rules, right? Like goaltending and even like inbounding the ball off of like an out of bounds. Can't you just grab it and go? Or am I tripping?
I don't know if you can just grab it and go, but because like, bro, there are some rules that even I don't know about. Like, there's some, I know some of the things you can't slap the backboard. Like, if you miss the ball and they do a layup and you slap the backboard, that's a goaltending.
Wow.
If the ball bounces up in the rim and is bouncing around in the rim, you can grab it out of the rim. Like, you can grab that. Like, you can tip it out, but you can't hit the net. But you can, like, if you can reach up and tip it out, you can tip it out if it's like bobbling around the rim. Um, and then there's like a step. I mean, in America they allow it now, but in high school they don't allow that little step, that jump off two, and then you kind of step through with one. A lot of it's common in girls basketball. Yeah, so like
No,
there's
yeah, I
like a
got you.
step in basketball. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's like a girl step in basketball that they do where they'll come off two and then play off one that they call it travel in a lot of high school boys basketball. But you know, here it's like part of the game.
Dude, and I hate that rule. I was always taught, my grandpa always taught me, you can jump stop and take the step, right? Like that's a
Mhm.
basketball move, but like some refs they just don't get it, dude. Like like they don't understand, like they
Yeah.
can't comprehend it. Like you never established a 1-2 for one, just stopped and picked your dribble up. You still technically entitled to your steps, right? But like things happen so
Mhm.
fast and the refs trip out and they're like, oh, it's travel. But like you look at European guys, they make so many buckets off of that. Like think of like Manu, think of like
Mhm.
Luca, think of like those guys. Even guys in America who are in the league, like think of Kyrie and like those kinds of cats, man. We were just talking about
Yeah.
like Akeem Olajuwon. Like it's crazy, crazy. Like the rules, I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Like I like how you can hip a ball out. You know what I mean? And I also kind
Yeah.
of don't like that because if I was on the other end of it, I'd be like, that sucks. But at the same time, I mean, that's a rule in FIBA when they go play in the Olympics and stuff. Like they got to adapt to that kind of stuff.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so
it's a lot of rules. It's a lot of rules I had to learn, and I ask my point guard all the time, like, "Am I allowed to do this, or what can't I do?" Because it's like you got to study. You got to study the game to see what you can get away with. Because there are some guys who push the limits of a travel out here. Like before, I remember a couple years ago, you couldn't when you did a Euro step, you had to go up like straight up after
yep,
you do your Euro step. Like now, people are doing that on their second step. They're balancing on one leg and like holding it right here with off one leg, and they're like,
yes,
"We'll hold it," and then like it's a new thing. I think it's called like a Pinoy step or something like that. But it's like everybody does it now, and it's so hard to guard because when they're going full speed and then they just go 1, 2, and now they're balancing on one foot, you're thinking they're going to go up, but
who
the whole
did
time
that?
they didn't.
Who did that? Was it Luca or like Jokic? Somebody did that, and it just blew everyone's mind because it's like, well, technically, he's not doing anything wrong. Like he's just
Yeah,
doing a slower
Jokic does
Euro
it a
step.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's trippy. I've always like that is that's a great move, right? Because everyone's assuming you're going up with the
it's
layup. They're gonna fly
yeah,
right by you.
it's a great move. It's a great move. It just looks goofy. It just looks weird. It's odd. It's odd. It doesn't look like it should be not a travel. It looks like he should be traveling, but it's a great move.
Yeah, dude. Um, this came to my mind when you were talking. Like, how important is it to be a student of the game? Like you said, you were talking to your point guard about rules and things like that.
Mm.
How important of it, like your perspective, is it to be a student of the game and like study the game of basketball, like you would a test and picking the ears of
Mm.
picking the brain, not picking the ears, picking the brain of your coach or your veteran point guard on the team who's been there for a while and like absorbing all of it.
Mm. Yeah, I think it's huge. I think it's an underrated aspect of the game. That's what made Kobe so special. He was a student of the game. That's what makes LeBron so special. He's a student of the game. You know, people who understand the game in depthly, it affects everything else. You know, it makes everything so much easier on the court. You got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to listen to people that are around you that have been here before, because it just makes it so much easier. Like I never seen the point in trying to blow messages off, like, or blow people off when they're trying to tell me something, because you're telling me because you genuinely want me to learn. So it's like I can't I can't turn down any knowledge that's about to be given to me. You have to be willing to sit there and understand defensive schemes, or understand how certain pick and roll coverages will affect your game. Like I've taken that into major account this year. Like I'll watch film on a team and see how they play pick and rolls, or I'll see their defensive coverages and I'll see where I can get my shots. And so for the week, my workouts are tailored to that. My workouts are tailored to the shots that I can get. So yeah, man. I think especially for young guys, they just have to get into a habit of just watching themselves first. You know what I mean? Like watch yourself first, see how you play. And then once you get into like competitive basketball, check out your opponents, and you can even pick up some stuff from people.
Right.
Like you can pick up moves from certain people. I picked up a lot of moves just from watching players play, and just allowed like that from that. It's like allowed me to just grow as a player that I couldn't have by myself. So I just feel like as being a student of the game should just be a given. It shouldn't be like a trait that some people have, but it is a trait only some people have.
Yep.
But I think everybody should be a student of the game. If you truly love it, you should be watching it all the time. Not because you need to, but because like you're curious. You just want to know more. It's not akin to being a doctor. It's nothing like being a doctor, but you got to know your craft inside and out. You'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't. Saying.
Yeah, man. I think that's something
So
that
yeah.
is just important in life. Like, no matter what you do, be a student of it. Like, when we talking to our elders, talking to your OGs or whatever you call it, man. Like, I'll sit down with
Mhm.
some of my uncles, or some family friends or whoever, and I just like picking their brain, hearing their story, hearing their experiences, and then it kind of gives you a different perspective, and it gives you time to reflect
Mhm.
on, oh, what could I improve on, whatever it is. Like even when I'm at work, like I've been doing this for 5-6 years now. Like you would think I know it all, but I have the humility to say I don't. But I'll go to people I trust, and I'll ask questions. You do things like
Yeah.
that. So like in a basketball sense, like you can relate that to life, right? Like picking
Mhm.
people's brains and just learning from those who came before you. I think that's one of the coolest things ever, right? Like you got family, I got family, you got friends, whatever it is, but like you got those elders, you got those OGs, like your unks or whoever it is, like go pick
Mhm.
their damn brains, man. Like go
Yeah.
listen to 'em. You know what I mean? Like cuz that
Mhm.
knowledge, you know, it's not around forever. So go pick that brain while you can. Go talk to that coach. Like you might not be on the same team next year, but go talk to that coach, or go talk to that point guard or that vet, and go
Mhm.
learn from them. Because I love it when you see all these NBA podcasts and things like that. I love it when they hear like, yeah, my rookie year, like I had Jason Terry. He was in the locker room and he really took me under my wing, and I learned a lot, because it
Mhm.
takes humility as a person to be like, okay, I don't know it all. I'm gonna listen to. You've played with guys like
Yeah.
this. I've played with guys like this. I've even coached kids like this. Or just aren't coachable. Like they won't learn. They
Yeah.
won't. They think they're better and they think they know it all. Where it's like you got your priorities messed up, dog. Like
Mhm.
you got to listen. You got to be a student.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, dude. Um, Another thing that came up for me is from the college level to the pro level. You
Mhm.
mentioned something about like when you're over at the league you're in now, the NBL one, like, oh, I found where I can get my shots from. You know,
Mhm.
how big of a difference was that from like the college level? College level's essentially the same in some ways, but is it more advanced at that next level? You know what I mean? Like high school, it's
Yeah.
essentially not there. Like you can find your shots here and there, but it's a little more unorganized in the sense. But like at that college
Yeah.
and professional level, I bet you it's just completely different.
Yeah. It was, if I'm being honest, it was a little harder to score in college. It was a little harder to score in college, but um I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've gotten better. I don't know
Yeah.
how that worked. Like I don't know. Maybe that's it. But it's kind of hard to score in college. At this level, it is kind of hard to score, but it's much more fast paced in this league. It's much more fast paced. It's like NBA style pacing. Like we have games that go up to like 130, 140. Like, and you're barely reaching that in college, if that, because college is so much more tempo basketball. Like it's slow it down, pace it out. Here it's push and go and run and gun. So, um, I will say it's easier to find your shots within a specific defense at this level because everybody's a professional. So they're gonna stick true to their defense to a T. So all right, if they're running a 2-3, I know he's not gonna come out of this spot. I know he's not gonna bump me on the wing unless his man goes right here. So if he goes right here and I slipped right here, that'll be wide open because that's their principles. They're professionals, so they're gonna stick to that. As opposed to in college, you can find slips or gaps in the defense because those aren't professional basketball players. They're college athletes. But at the same time, it was a lot harder to score in college, I will say. It was because I don't know what I averaged in college, like 8 points or 9 points a game, which, is all right. It's average, decent.
Yeah.
But, my first year in Portugal, I averaged like 20. And it's like, that was just a year difference. Like,
Yeah.
so it's a little easier to score at the professional level, only if you're willing to learn and actually do the work. Like, because like if I just come in and do the same things I did in college here, I'm not gonna make the same impact I did. I study teams, I study their defenses, I even study some of their weaker defenders. So like if this guy's on me, all right, I know I can take him just to the basket because he can't stay in front of me. So, just being at this level, you have to be like, that's where student of the game comes in. You
Yep.
just gotta be smart. You gotta be willing to check guys' tendencies and check defensive tendencies, and that's where you find your baskets.
Yep.
But yeah, I stand on it. It's harder to score in college than overseas for sure.
I think you mentioned that last time, and I can see it too because again, they are professionals, and the guys on your team are also professionals, so they can get you open. They find you when they need to find you. Like when you slip, if that guy pulls up a little bit and you take that slip, you're right under the basket. That point guard or whoever has it needs to get it there right away. If not, it's gonna probably disappear pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Wait.
But that's that. Yeah, man, I couldn't imagine. Like I went to the summer league and just the pace that they play at, it's just nonstop. Like people think I was talking to some coaches, dude, and we were talking like, yeah, you watch them on TV and you could be like, oh, I can go out there and I could shoot better than, TJ McConnell, or I could do what TJ McConnell does. Until you like actually watch those guys live and you're like, oh God. So I was in Vegas for that tournament for my basketball players, and one of my boys, he's from San Antonio and he used to train a guy who played overseas. And played for the Nigerian national team. I forget his name. Anyways, he was out there with the Raptors. He works for the Raptors. And I was sitting around and I was like, he was like, yeah, I'm going to go to the Win, but my boy hasn't left yet. And I was like, how about we just go now? I'll just go over there with you. We didn't have any games for the rest of the evening. I was like, I'll just go over there with you and I'll walk around like summer league. I know some players around there. Maybe I'll see somebody, whatever. So we go to the Win, and his boy shows up. He's like, yeah, I'll give you guys a tour of our practice facility in the Win. And I was like, you don't have to take me. Like, I was just here walking with him. He's like, no, it's fine. Like, it's cool. And he brings us in and he opens the door. And it's the whole Raptors practice facility. But Dylan Brooks was in there working out. He's on the Suns. And I was wearing a Steve Nash jersey shirt. And I'm like, oh, you know what it is back here, man. But like to sit there, I watched Dylan Brooks do an individual workout for probably 5 minutes, and watching him on TV, you're like, oh, I could probably, Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm gonna score all the time. Like, I could get a bucket or two up, or I could guard him.
Hmm.
Hell no. Hell
Yeah.
no. Dylan Brooks he's a tank, dude, and he looks
Yeah,
small
he
on
is.
TV, dude. Like the levels it is from college to the professional level. Granted, I only played NAI. It just leaps and bounds. Like, was that ever like a big wow to you? You know what I mean? You're like, holy
Mhm.
smokes, these guys are on a different level. Was there any like self doubt or anything like that? Because it's a jump, dog. Especially when
Yeah.
you're in a league out there in Australia where you got ex NBA players, guys coming in from the G League, dudes trying to hunt a contract, or NBL players or
Mhm.
whatever. Like, was that ever a shock to you?
The strength factor, like how you talk about Dylan Brooks as a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that strength, that, like, because you go from college to playing grown men. Like, these guys have been playing over here for 12 years, 13 years. Like, so they know the league way better than you, and they're just strong, man. Like, that's the biggest adjustment that I'm gonna work on in this offseason, is getting stronger. These dudes are strong. That's, for me, that was the biggest, because, like, for quickness and, athleticism, I'm on par, if not a little above par. But when it comes to that strength factor, man, it's like different. And I know it's like that for the league, because we had a dude here. I think his name is Duop. Played the
What Reef?
Trailblazers. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yeah, man. He is from out this way, and I would train with the NBL team, the Wildcats. I would practice, well, not practice, more so like an open run with them. And they just bring in their young guys, bring in a lot of guys, and we would just play fives for like a couple hours. But Duop would pull up, and man, when I tell you, like, he's just, for as big as he is, and for him to move the way that he does, and then for him to be as strong as he is and make the shots that he does, you realize, like, the difference in NBA players and the rest of the world, man. Like, you really see that difference. Like, you talk about a 7 foot guy that can do everything, but then, you watch him on TV and he's not doing the things he's doing against us. A bunch of other overseas professionals, but then if you were to come to that run and watch him, you would think he was, Victor Wembanyama, like,
Right.
against us, because there's levels to this thing, man. There's levels to basketball, and just playing against NBA guys throughout, not seriously, maybe in some pro-ams or maybe some little workouts, playing against these NBA guys I've played against, the strength is the biggest thing, dog. Like, they're so strong. It's weird. Like, I don't know, call it what you want. I call it PEDs, but, like, bro,
Yeah.
they are strong, dog. Like, just naturally, and it's the craziest thing ever. Like, I have a couple friends that are in the league now, and just for sake of controversy, I'll withhold names. But, like, dog, like, I'm playing them and they'll bump me, and I'm like, dog, there's no way you're just bench pressing and squatting every day. Like, what kind of juice do you take?
Right.
Like, what kind of juice? What kind of juice is that? Because I just watched you bump a grown man out of the way and then windmill the ball, bro. That's not normal. Like,
No.
that's not okay. Like, so I would say strength, man. That's the biggest thing I've seen.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
strong.
it's crazy, because when I saw Dylan and I've seen NBA players before, dude, but like that guy, like you said, it looks like he's on the juice. Looks like, how
Yeah.
does somebody get that big and move that well? First off, like, not an ounce of body fat on him. He looks like if he walked into just a casual gym, he would be considered like a bodybuilder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I walked by Scoot Henderson, he was in the hotel, and I was like, damn, Scoot big too. But then like you have like the casual thing. I'm sitting there, I eat my Doritos, watching a game. I'm like, oh, I could go do that. Like, hell no, man. Like, I'd have to go guard
Yeah.
Steph. You know what I mean? How tall are
That
you?
is-
6'6", 6'7"?
I'm 6'7",
Yeah, dude. Like,
and that's like league average.
yeah, that's a league average. Like, you're shooting guard, small forward. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? In college, you're a power forward probably. And
Yeah. In college, I was a power forward.
right. And you got to be able to do everything, like Duop pulling up and doing his thing, like just levels, man, just levels. Do you ever get, speaking of casuals, I don't consider myself a casual. I know this shit. I know my stuff. But like, do you ever get
Yeah,
like you on Twitter or anything like that? Do you see how some of these dudes be talking?
all the time, man.
It pisses
All
me
the
off.
time.
What do you think about that stuff, man? Like I get rage baited all the time. Like I get baited into things. But it's like at
Yeah,
some point, like these guys need to learn a lesson one way or another. Like
yeah,
all this slander and stuff if someone didn't get their bet hit or something. I'm like, dude, you guys need to get
yeah,
slapped or something.
yeah. There's a lot of slander, man. There's a lot. People don't understand how people don't understand, and I feel like you know because you're a hooper and you know the levels. Like you know what it's like to play at a high level, and just for people to sit there and say like, "Oh, you didn't cash in on my over three threes." Like, do you know how hard it is to make three threes in a game? Like,
Especially in the
do you know how hard that
NBA.
is? Yeah, do you know how hard that is? That's not easy. That's not something that just comes by every so often. Like, oh, he didn't get 4.5 steals. Like, dude, 4.5 steals? That's a lot of steals, dog. You put down on that? You don't understand basketball. And then they're like, well, if I'm in the NBA, I can at least get over 5 points. No, you couldn't, dog. No, you couldn't. Like me, if they drop me in the league right now as a professional athlete, I think maybe at most I'm getting 9 points. And that's just off corner threes.
Yep.
Like if I'm in the NBA, like I'm sitting in the corner, like Bron, come here. But like if I go to LA Fitness, you guys are gonna think I'm LeBron or something because there's just certain levels to this, man. Like, and when it comes to them higher tier levels, I'm talking Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Kyrie Irvings, the Dame Lillards of this world. Like it's different, man. Those are like, and I'm not saying these guys are no holiness, but when it comes to gods of basketball, those guys are up there, bro. Like they do things like Kyrie. Kyrie does things on the court that you can't practice. He's just naturally like that, man.
Yep.
You can't practice the things Kyrie Irving does. You can't do that. So it's like, people like to talk on Twitter, and sometimes you just gotta let them. You just
Yeah,
gotta let
dude.
them.
It,
They
it
don't know no better.
it drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. But like again, like if I was in the league, I'd have to guard Kyrie Irving.
That's
I,
tough
I
guard, man.
like you watch like if you walk by Kyrie Irving, you're like, oh, that's just an average dude, unless you know who it is. But the
Yeah,
things that guy can do, man, I wish
it's tough
I hope he
guard.
gets another ring or two, man, because
Yeah, me too.
he deserves me. That guy. I think he's gonna be one of those dudes that like the real ones, like in 20 years, reflect on, be like, that was that guy. But like everyone's in the like
Mhm.
ring culture or like accolade culture, but like when it comes down to it, he's probably in isolation top five, top. I don't know. No, I don't think
Top
anybody can
five,
guard
top
that.
three.
Yeah, like that
You
guy's
can't guard that.
no, no, dude. That
You can't. Guard that.
his left is like his right hand. He's so crafty. He has a counter to your counter. The things he can do in like dribbling a basketball or like adjust under the rim and just like the touch the guy
Yeah,
has, it's just unbelievable.
yeah.
It's
Certain things you
unbelievable.
can't work on, man.
Right.
Certain things you just can't develop, and that's like his game is one of them. You have to be one of one.
Yeah, dude. It's unbelievable. But I mean, again, it's just levels. And walking around there, in Vegas, it's like, oh, sick. But like when you like look at those dudes, you're like, damn. Like I watched Cooper Flag versus Bronny, and granted I was up in the nosebleeds, but like to see a guy like Cooper Flag, as big as he is, but able to have the abilities he does, it's unfathomable. Like Jaden, like a kid like that in Montana is not going to step outside of the three. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like,
yeah. You got him
he,
rolling.
like you're a post
Go rebound.
where we're
Yeah,
from. Like you're a post, but this kid, it's unbelievable. How do you think he's gonna do?
yeah.
Have you ever seen him play in person? Have you ever seen him play in
I haven't
person
seen.
before?
I haven't seen him play in person, just on TV. I was following Duke for a while because of him. Man, I have high hopes for him because it's like it's a great white hope, man. He's nice. I watched his high school. I watched him come up in high school. And I'm like, dude, yeah, he's cold. I really hope he has a really good career, man. Like, I have high hopes for Cooper Flag. So it's like, and he wants to hoop. He's one of those guys that wants to hoop.
Yep.
Like they sat him down for summer league, and he's begging them like, "Yo, let me play. Like,
Yep.
can I play like one more game?" And they're like, "Nah, like you good." Like a guy like that, I can respect.
Yep.
Like yeah, go ahead, go hoop, young man. You're 18 years old. Go hoop.
Yep.
Like so, I have high hopes for him. I like him.
How about Bronny? Bronny
Good man.
Bronny gets a lot of bullshit. I think he'll be all right.
He gets if he was anybody else, if he was not LeBron James' son, he would not get that same slander. But the fact that he has such big shoes to fill, and obviously nobody's gonna ever fill LeBron's shoes. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. Like Bronny's really good, man. He kills in the G League.
Oh,
you
yeah.
you give anybody else his position, they're not doing that. They're not doing what Bronny's doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the one thing that makes Bronny look bad, honestly, is just living in his dad's shadow. But if you give Bronny any other name, you know, everybody's like, he needs to be in the NBA now. Like, but the fact that he's LeBron's son, they're like, he's ass. No, I'm a big Bronny fan too. Bronny is cold, man.
Dude, he was cold. They didn't have their best game when I was watching either of them, but Bronny came out hot. He hit some shots. He did some things. He locked up Cooper Flag for like a couple possessions. Then Coop just turned around and hit a fade. It was still an insane shot to hit. But like,
yeah,
Bronny had his moments, and Coop came down. You probably saw it. I'm like, I wish.
Yeah.
Like, I wish, man.
Yeah, he's nutty.
But yeah, dude. Like, get to see all those guys, like, caliber of dudes. You know what I mean? Like Brian Scalabrine said it like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me, right? And I think that's fully true. And is that your goal one day?
100%.
Like NBA in your goal, or are you like, you know what? I think overseas is it for me? Because I think a lot of people do that. You know, like I could go to the league and I could go, you know, really fight for a spot, or I could still make a good living over here overseas.
Honestly, bro, I'm whatever way the cookie crumbles, I guess, bro. Like, if I make it to the league, dope, man. That would be amazing. 1 year in the league can change the future forever.
Right.
But at the same time, I also know that the NBA is very political. It's very politic heavy. So I want to be in a position where I can hoop, and if overseas just allows me to play basketball, like, and just be that guy on the team, then I'll stay over here. If an NBA team is like, hey, we want you to come in and shoot corner threes or just be a catch and shoot spot up guy for us for a year, would you be willing to do that? Yeah, try it out for sure. But you know, if that path doesn't come, I'm completely fine being that guy overseas. You know what I'm saying? Making not the same bag. I ain't making, you know, some Jaren Jackson money, 214 for 5 years. I'm not making that kind of money, but you know, it's like I'm making more money than I ever could have thought.
Right.
I'm not greedy, dog.
Right.
You know?
Right. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, can't be greedy, and especially like growing up, you know, in Montana and growing up the way we did, like money wasn't like flying around like that with us. So when you get something where it's like decent, you're like, damn, like just a hoop. I bet you that's something that comes. You're like, I get to do my dream. Of course, a lot of hard work goes into it, right? Like your body pays its dues. You know, there's definitely like mental stress and other things that go on. It's like, damn, I get to do that to live my dream. You know what I mean? And get to see these places like Portugal, Australia, like just imagine that, man. Like not imagining you're living it, but like it's probably just like probably wake up just feeling almost like it's a dream sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and you're a type of cat that I know you don't take it for granted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can tell when you're punching on some of them dudes. You're like, you're letting them know.
Yeah, man.
What's your favorite?
Yeah, man.
What was your favorite poster? Or hold on, before I get to that, what was your welcome? And we'll get you out of here in a second. But what was your like welcome to professional basketball moment? Welcome to the league moment.
Man, I've had a couple. In Portugal, it didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to me, but we had this dude who used to be on Hoop Mixtape back in the day. Real nice dude. I'm homeboys with him. His name is Sean Clancy. He's cold. He averaged like 30 in Portugal. Real cold, man. And he blew past me just so fast. It was lightning quick. Like I was still standing in a defensive stance when he was at the rim, and I'm like, and I look behind me, and he rose up on our 5-man, and he just like he missed it, but he got up so high. I swear his feet were in the rim, and I'm like, I looked and I'm like, damn. And the same thing happened here. The same thing happened here. Like I was playing this guy, and he was just lightning quick, and he like went and he drove, and I could have swore he went to the basket. And he stepped back, and he stepped back so far. He ended up at the 3-point line, and I was in the key. And you hear the crowd go, "Ooh!" I'm like, whoa. And so I close out. I get there to close out. It's like he almost waited for me. I close out. My hand's there. I feel like I touched the ball. Splash, blows the roof off the place. And I'm like, all right, that just happened. Okay, let's get on to the next play. And then, he comes down next play. I'm not guarding him this time. Comes down next play, drop cross, surveys the court, pulls up from 35 feet out. And you're like, there's some dudes out here. There's some cats that aren't in the NBA. Like, there's some cats that are just monsters.
Yep.
And, he was one of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, I've had a few of those moments, though, bro. I've had a couple.
And so what was what's your favorite, I guess, play that you've been a part of, or your poster? Because you got some pics you be posting, some highlights where you're putting it on some phrases, where you're dunking on some guys.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But no. Bro, I would say my best plays aren't dunks.
Uh-huh.
My best plays aren't dunks. I've established myself as like a sharpshooter, like like a shooter. So a lot of my best plays would be like back to back to back threes. You know that feeling when you hit one,
Yep.
and then you come down, next play you hit another one, and then you're like, well, I might as well heat check myself, and that bitch goes in too.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Like those are the best moments for me. And I've had a few games like that where it's just like, you can't help yourself. You just start screaming, or you do whatever. You start talking, you start popping it a little bit. It's like those were my favorite moments. Because honestly, bro, I've missed a lot of dunks this year. And if any of my teammates are watching this, which they probably will when it's uploaded to YouTube, man, they might get on me in the comments because I missed a lot of dunks, dog. I've missed a lot of posters. I've missed a lot. But I've had a couple that were pretty tough. So
you gotta go for it, though. At the end of the day, you gotta go for it. Like, and that's
what I told my coach. That's what I told him. I'm like, dude, like I told my coach, I'm like, look, if I see the opportunity, I'm taking it. I want to lay it up. 2 points is 2 points, but you got to feel me on this. Like, I'm gonna try to punch it every single time.
Yep.
And refs overseas, it was the same in Portugal. They're so against Americans. Like, I've gotten tackled out of the air a few times, and the whole crowd will go like, "Oh," and the ref will just look at me like,
"Nope, yep.
Get up, yeah, like get up, go play defense." It's like, dude, call that shit. Like, I'm not just falling for my own health. Come on, bro.
Oh yeah. I can see that, dude. I can see that.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, like shooting. I loved it, man. Like, you hit a couple in a row and you're just feeling good. There's no better feeling on the planet. Like, obviously, put someone on a poster or having a sick, layup or a move around the rim's great. I never did any of those things except for the shooting part. But like, there's no better feeling. But one of my teammates used to say, and this goes for you as well, is like when you hit a three, you could just feel the life suck out of the other team, especially in a close game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or like when you hit a couple threes to make your team will go on a run. I don't think anything hurts more than that. But then you hit the next one.
Yeah.
Then you hit a next one. Then you come out of the game, but when you come in, you hit a couple more. Like, there ain't nothing that hurts more. I was watching, old head. I was watching my old senior year college highlights, and almost like every clip, you could always just see the other coach is like bang their chair,
Yeah.
or just like, oh my god, because I wasn't that guy. Obviously,
Yeah.
I wasn't like you in college. I was definitely the role player, but it still hurts, and not to make me feel better. I was like, yeah, screw you guys. You got
Yeah.
an 18-inch vertical, but I could shoot that thing. You know what
Yeah.
I
You can
mean?
shoot the blood out of the ball.
Yep. Yep. Before we get you out of here, got a couple questions, couple quick ones for you. All right, we got a question. Do you have a favorite NBA team?
More so players. It's hard to have a favorite team nowadays with players going all over the place. So,
Yep.
I watch the T-Wolves a lot more than any other team though. So
Ant and the
I would say
boys.
Minnesota for sure.
Did you ever run into Ant down in Atlanta? Ever play him?
Nah. He was huge. I never ran into him, but I've never seen the city react in a way to a certain player as they do for Anthony Edwards. You could not say one bad thing about Anthony Edwards; they'll crucify you.
Yep.
They will crucify you if you talk bad about that boy.
I'd say, outside of Devin Booker, obviously Suns fan, but how can you not like Devin Booker? Anthony Edwards is probably that next guy for me. Fucking, because he's a dog, man. Yeah. He's a dog, dude.
Monster.
He talks that shit, and exactly, might have to bleep some of my cussing out, but he talks that shit and he backs it up, and he'll go let you know about it. Like, it's unbelievable. So rolling into that, who's your top 5? And I'm not saying your top 5 all time, but like your top 5 favorite players, like that you just love to watch, or maybe you idolize and stuff.
Yeah. Top 5. Yeah, I'm not gonna do like a greatest of all time list. I'm just gonna do my personal because
yep. It gets
screwy.
Too political. It gets to top 5 all time gets political.
Yeah, it gets a little too political. My top 5 favorite of all time, I would have to say, is MVP Derrick Rose for sure. That's one of my favorite players of all time. Kevin Durant, just as a whole, I just love his game so much. I've always been a big Michael Beasley fan. As a kid, I looked up to him crazily. I've always looked up to Michael Beasley, and like even out here, I always tell my teammates like I'm Jaden Beasley, like when we're playing one-on-one drills, because it's like I just like messing around like that. But him, LeBron, of course. I'm not gonna count LeBron though. I can't count LeBron. That's LeBron. Can't count him. Nah, I'm gonna count LeBron. I love LeBron. LeBron's so good. And I'd say the last one is a toss-up between like Kobe, Jordan, and Steph.
Yep.
Just because I like watching all of those guys. I can't really pick a 5th personal favorite out of all of them.
It's tough.
But yeah, just those guys. Yeah, those like because Steph changed the game. Jordan changed the game as well. But then you got Kobe, who's just Kobe. So it's kind of
he's the mad scientist.
Yeah, the mad scientist for sure. That's a great nickname. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, dude. That's a good list. That's a great list. I thought you would sneak Paul George in there. I think you mentioned Paul George last time.
Yeah, I like Paul George. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's nice, but like as of lately, he's just kind of
gotta get healthy, man. And that's the other thing I hate about Twitter and stuff, that be blaming dudes to get injured. I'm like, dog, I bet you most of these guys would play. But Paul George's game, like, so smooth. So smooth. Well, overall, that's a great list. That's an awesome list. I like the Michael Beasley. I like the Michael Beasley one, dude. He's a dog, and like he's kind of blown up ever since him and Lance Stevenson played. And to hear stories come out about him and like dudes talk about him, like no one can guard that guy, and obviously not.
Yeah,
dude, he's the sicko. Yeah. Like the way he was talking to Lance, the way he was talking to Lance Stevenson, I was like, damn.
Yeah, he's a sick man. He's definitely not right. He's not right in the head. But yeah, I've liked him for a long time, bro. He was my brother's favorite player back in the day. I never understood why. But then I would watch highlights, and I'm like, he's not averaging that much in the league. He's not that good. But as I got older and I started studying his game more, and then podcasts start coming out with Michael Beasley, it's like, okay, my brother was on to something with him. Like, okay, yeah, he's tough, he's cold, and then you hear stories about him being homeless, and he's like, I was training with NBA guys, I didn't have $1 in my pocket. I couldn't even eat. It's like hearing stories like that. It's like, all right, I gotta respect that.
Yep.
Can't do nothing. I gotta respect that.
Go pull some Kansas State film up on that guy, dude. Who did he come out?
Raw.
Who was in that draft class? It was him, and was it Blake?
Was it 2005 or 2006?
I think it was a little later
I'm not
than
sure.
that. I think it may have been like 2007.
Was it later? 2008?
2008. I want to say maybe it was Blake draft class too, because they were like 1 and 2. Somebody though, but dude, that guy, and he's left-handed, which makes it even more incredible. And the guy's left-handed.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I was a lefty. I do.
So it was 2008. Yeah, he got drafted 2008.
Who got drafted ahead of him?
Let me see. Let's fact check that right now. I love basketball history, man.
Now, who was it? Kevin Durant. It was Kevin Durant.
That was a decent little draft. 2008 was a decent draft.
Was that KD?
It was a stacked draft. Let's see, because this says Derrick Rose was drafted in 2008.
Maybe it was D
I
Rose.
think, yeah. So D Rose was selected ahead of him, and then you have OJ Mayo, who was that guy, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love, Danilo Gallinari, Eric Gordon, DJ Augustine.
DJ Augustine was a dog too.
Yeah,
I think he's still
DJ
playing
Augustine
overseas.
I think he is too. Yeah, DJ Augustine he's a dog, man.
Yeah, that
was a decent little draft.
All right, top 5 rap artists or artists in general that you go to, maybe on a game day or just in general. Top 5.
My game day playlist is embarrassing right now because Ellie Goulding's on it. Like,
oh hell yeah!
I listen to Ellie Goulding right before the game. But my favorite artist right now, as far as rap goes, I'm gonna have to go J. Cole, Lil Wayne. I've been on a huge 50 Cent thing right now. I've always loved 50 Cent. I always loved him, but as I got older, I'm like, dang, he was really that guy. He's cold.
Yep.
So yeah, J. Cole, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Benny the Butcher's cold.
Hell yeah.
But I'm not gonna go. He's cold. Let me see. Hang on. Did you lose me?
You're back.
I felt like it kind of. Yeah. Man,
there you
things
are.
it's like moving. J. Cole, Lil Wayne, 50 Cent. Let's see. Who else am I love No Cap. I'm listening to No Cap a lot. And then Future, for sure.
Yep.
Big Future Hendrix guy. And these are just like the guys I'm listening to right now. I went on a really big Warren G run for a little bit there.
Yep.
But yeah, Smino, into Smino, that type of music. I just kind of listen to everything, bro. So it's really hard for me. It just depends on how I'm feeling at a certain time.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And like you talked about 50, like 50 Cent, like there's like he has his mainstream, but if you go and dig, dude, you're gonna find some stuff that goes crazy. Like I'm a big Eminem guy, for example, and I feel like I've known his catalog front to back, but I've found some things in like the depths that he's featured on. And I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like, last thing, this will be the last thing, and I know I've said a couple times.
That's all good.
Talking about music, what's that culture like in Atlanta, knowing that music is so embedded? Like Atlanta rappers is like its own thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what was that like out there? Did you notice it? Like, I don't know. You kind of see what I'm saying here? Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
huge.
like a big culture. It's like a big staple in the culture.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. You know, like in Montana, we grew up there. It's like we're not really. I wouldn't say cultured, but we're not really cultured influenced in that way. We have different culture. We have a different way of life, a different aspect. There, it's like it affects everything. It literally changes everything. Like, Future or Quavo or somebody says something in the song like, "Oh, I wear this and I wear this to certain da da da." Then everybody's gonna wear that to a certain place. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I go here wearing certain pants." You know what I'm saying? It's huge. Like Atlanta culture is very, very vibrant. It's very, very. That rapper culture is huge down there, man. Like people look up to rappers like they're holy. And it's crazy because I've never been that kind of guy. Like, I love music, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to freak out if I see a rapper. Like, the only person I'll freak out if I see is Tony Hawk. That's the only person ever. But it's like these guys idolize these rappers and stuff, and it's so crazy in Atlanta. It's bad. It's bad. You want to talk about riders? These guys are riders, like bad, man. Like, and willing to die behind certain rappers. Like, dude, he doesn't even know you.
Right.
He doesn't even know you.
Like they'll stand
you're sitting here. You'll stand on it. Like if it were between you and him, he's choosing himself. He doesn't know you, dog. So it's crazy. Atlanta's a different place. See, and that's why I'm not going to be living there that much longer. I'm actually moving back up to Montana with my girl. So, I don't know, man. It's a different place.
Right.
Atlanta's like a place I would recommend everybody to live for a couple of years, but you don't want to be there forever.
Right.
Yeah. You don't want to be there forever.
No, I got you. Yeah, I had to ask that. I kind of came up because it was like, damn, like Atlanta rappers is its own thing. You got Quavo, Future, like Young Thug, and like those kind of guys.
Lil Baby,
Outkast, Lil Baby. Gunna, is he
Outkast?
He Atlanta?
He's from Atlanta.
Yeah, dude. Like it's and they in their own way run the rap game. You got other guys out there. You got the Drakes, the Kendricks, all those kinds of cats. But like Atlanta, I would say since high school for me, they probably came out with some of the hardest shit at like rap game.
Yeah,
other guys do too, but like a lot of that runs through Atlanta right now. I think
or they just go to Atlanta. They go to Atlanta to get popping, to get music going.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
But all right. An hour 41. We were talking 30, 60 minutes. Hour 41. We're going to call this a wrap. Jaden Stanley-Williams, my brother. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for being a part of this again. Everybody who's in here tuned in or tuning in on the YouTube video and you're this far, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Show some love. Show the kids some love. We're just out here trying to make it. But if you don't, I get it. It's your choice. It is what it is. But I appreciate everyone. Appreciate you, Jaden. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, man.
Skywalking with Wetz.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.